Well, hello and welcome to another edition of the Angry Black Woman podcast. I'm here with Red Dragon the Poet. How you doing today, Red Dragon?
Hello, I am doing great for Monday.
Good. you said great for a Monday?
You know how Mondays usually go, but it's this today has been a great Monday. Great
Mhm.
Monday.
Okay,
Did you hear
so
about the eclipse this past weekend?
yeah, I did.
You have anybody passing through going on their way to go get a good view down there in Texas?
I don't know anybody that was trying to do all of that.
I had a best friend who went, and he loves these things. So I hear that the vantage point in Texas was somewhere between like the Four Points and the Alamo, somewhere in that area. You're supposed to be able to get the best view for about 2 whole minutes of the eclipse. So I'm excited to get some feedback.
I am
That
too.
was makes my Monday great. That's made learning to hear about something scientific once in a lifetime, something positive going on. I'm excited to hear about that.
Well, we want you all to remember too that you can follow us on all platforms, podcasts, YouTube. We on Facebook. We pretty much everywhere. You follow us Instagram. Um, so
Spotify.
follow. Like, subscribe, follow. And I got a question in the I got a question in there. I just
Oh.
started a Q&A, so anybody just going in and I can watch activity and we can talk if you have any questions or comments. So it's been a long week for me, but today's episode, y'all, we're gonna talk about we're gonna talk about relationships.
Oh, I can't wait to get this off my chest.
I know, right? Yeah, we've been planning this episode for a good little minute. So it's specifically talking about a toxic relationship, to be exact. Okay. So, as women, sometimes, with our girlfriends or whatever, we talk about our relationships and how they affect us. And one of my friends related her story to me, and I just really kind of thought it was very interesting and that it would be a really good topic for us to talk about. And it's basically, at the end of the day, why do men waste our time? So, okay, I really don't like my time wasted. And then I get called an angry black woman because you wasted my time.
Mm.
Okay, anyway, so my friend said that she was casually dating this old friend of hers. They had been dating for like it was real casual, laid back. She really didn't even want to be calling it dating. Like, that's just how casual it was. But they was kind of hanging out, testing the waters. They had kind of been in a relationship before, and like many years ago. And so they were just kind of testing the waters. Maybe they went out to have a bite to eat together, maybe saw a movie, but that was it. Like, it was, and she was okay with that. She was okay with that. And so it was a bunch of us talking, a bunch of us friends sitting there talking. And, she was just saying she did it because she was like wanting to put herself back out there. Like, she was like, I want to more for the companionship, not necessarily to just be in a completely committed relationship, even though she was open to that, but just putting herself out there.
Is she a single mom or is she
No,
like
no
so she
children,
doesn't have any children?
no children. So they had taken the trip together. Let's just say that. Let's put it like that. They had taken the trip together. Because that's kind of like all y'all know, okay, y'all might not know this, but I write up on the fan. So don't be writing no comments down there that I'm on something. Okay, listen. So they had taken a trip together.
Okay.
And it was some friends over. They went visited some friends. They went visiting on a trip somewhere.
Okay.
And some friends were over to their Airbnb.
Mm-hmm.
And they would get ready to go out. And so one of the girlfriends like helped her put her makeup on. And she really liked the way the girl put her makeup on. So she was like, "Ooh, I'm cute. I can I get me a boyfriend now?" Now, she was joking, but she wasn't with the dude. They was just chilling together, right?
Okay.
So she didn't consider him as her man. They was just okay. Matter of fact, she said they weren't even intimate. Like they hadn't even been intimate. They was just hanging out.
And they took a trip together?
Yeah.
Okay.
And so she was like, later on, when everybody was gone, like when everybody was gone, she said that he told her that he was confused. He told her that when she said that, he thought to himself, but I thought that's what we were doing. She said he never communicated that with her for them to have a conversation about it until this happened. And then he was like, "Wait a minute, stop. Hold up. I thought that's what we was doing." And so then she said they talked about it, and she was like, "Okay, well, let's converse about it, you know." And she said over the course of that trip, even though she was shocked, you know, because she had been having fun, just being, you know, casual, talking over the phone, maybe a little texting or whatever. But she was shocked, and she said, "Okay, so that's what we doing? That's where you're going? That's where you want to go?" Like she was trying to get the clarity on it. And she said, he said yes.
Interesting.
So then about when they got to month 11, so this is around month 8.
Okay. So they're not like in a relationship, they're just casually dating.
Right.
Okay.
So then when we get to month 11, she said he had gotten to the point where he wasn't responding to her texts. He wasn't responding to her calls. If he did respond, he would say he was busy, which he did. The way she told it, he had a new job, very pressing job. And so she didn't think anything of it because of the job. Like he became a vice president of something.
Oh, okay. All right.
Right. Okay. So like she didn't think anything of it if he said he was busy.
Right.
Okay. So she said, but after when we got to month 11, she was like she just felt something wasn't right. So she said she wrote this Dear John letter.
Okay.
And she said that she thanked him for the time they had spent together. She found it a blessing. And then he just blew up. Like with some negative behavior around it. And she never heard from him again. You say,
because I'm making notes as we go. And the first thing that stood out was people ask if they want to be in a relationship with you nowadays. I know that's always been my thing. Like if you are interested in somebody And I guess the communication up front being, hey, we gonna be exclusive, or this just a casual thing. I'm assuming that, you discuss things like, where is this going in the beginning? But to the point where, you want to take it to the next step, I always assume the opposite of sex, whoever would ask, you know, I like you, we've been kicking it or talking for a minute. I wanted to go maybe to the next level, or how would you feel about us being more exclusive? Something to let me know that you feeling me, but you want to be more than casual. So I was surprised at that point that the assumption automatically from the man was that they were in some sort of situation or
Well,
relationship.
to be exact, she said his words were, but I thought we were working on it. And she
Now,
said, we working on it? What does that mean? And she said she never could get clear commitment or clear response to what we working on it meant.
so then my question would be, if she was well aware they were being casual with each other, did she assume that when he said working on it or whatever, did she assume that I'm assuming they had some sort of previous communication, because I'm trying to figure out, why would he assume they had anything to work on if they were being casual? You know what I'm
Right.
saying? What is there
That's
to
why she
work
was
on?
shocked. You're right. That's why she was shocked. That's why she was confused. There was no prior conversation about that. He just said, but I thought that's what we were doing. I thought we were working on it. She said she repeated several times, like over the course of the next 2 or 3 months, she was like, okay, we working on it? Yes, we're working on it. What does that mean? So that I can be on the same page with you. Because I wasn't aware that we were working on anything. So like she was forthcoming, but he wouldn't tell her what we working on it means.
I'm at this point, he assuming that they were just both going to be exclusive, and there was no asking or no preempting or nothing. Hey, we together, we doing this. And my thoughts are, if you gonna take a trip with me and you going somewhere with me, we together. It ain't it we Because to be platonic is one thing. Hey, you want to go on this trip, it's a group of us going. Or hey, I want to go in support of you, or we going as friends, or blah, strictly platonic. That's one thing. But if we're going on a trip and we're spending money, where we're spending a lot of time together, and it's under the assumption that we are an item, yeah, I would like to know that that's how you think of me before I go out here and put my foot in my mouth talking about, this is, we an item, we together, this mine. You know what I'm saying? I would like some sort of verbal something, or a
So
contract or
so
something.
so
Blood,
let
what are
me
we
back
doing?
up. Okay, so let me back up. Okay, let me back up. So these people had a relationship when they were young, and then separated. It's a really long story, a story that spans 40 years.
Wow. Okay.
Okay, so there was in and out, but never really any true commitment.
Now that makes sense.
Then when he came and sought her out, like he went on the internet, searched her out so he could find her. And so she has this negative baggage about him. But he's a fun chap. So it was like, okay, well, I ain't trying to get into, but I want to just get myself back out there. So this will be fun.
That was her mindset.
Right.
Okay, so she wasn't expecting anything serious. They just gonna test the waters and kick it and spend some time together.
Right.
Nothing serious.
And when they took this trip, they had an Airbnb with 2 different bedrooms.
Well, that's letting you know. Nah, we ain't really together then, because I ain't trying to sleep in another room. Not if that's mine. No.
Yeah, right. So it wasn't like
snore.
So that's why when it was said, it threw her off. She said it threw her off, and she was like, okay, so what does that mean though? Because I wasn't there, but like the possibility, I mean, it's a possibility, like it's possible because you cool, but what does that mean to you?
Right. Okay.
And that's when she said she never could get the answer.
Interesting.
So there was a lot of, when she said when he was around her, it was a lot of treating her like she was his gal. But then like when she was out of sight, it was a lot of non-communication. And some other stuff. So like that's when she was like, listen, she said she wrote the Dear John letter because she was like, okay, well, he's still cool, but I know he not for me. Like, we ain't gonna do this another 40 years. That's where she was at. She was like, he's still cool. We could kick it. We can hang out. Like, we can have a drink. Like, but he's not my dude. That's what she was telling us. She was like, he wasn't my dude. And actually there were some guys in this conversation as she was telling us this, and they were agreeing with her that wasn't her dude.
I'm on the fence. And I'm on the fence because on the guy's side, I could definitely see that. He's getting the best of both worlds. He's not really verbally committing to anything that she can hold him to. And at the same time, because they do have some sort of history, there's a comfort in there where he could be comfortable enough to assume or comfortable enough to behave a certain way because they have that intimacy from long ago. They have that foundation. But yeah, he don't have to really speak up and verbally commit to anything at this point, because he could have the best of kicking it and not happen to be committed to kicking anything longer than the moment.
Right. So
on her end, it's like, which way are we going, George? Why are you blowing up? Because I thought we were just kicking it. All your body language is telling me one thing, but you saying something else. And that's something where I'm on the fence about, because
that's what she told him. She was like, she tried to tell him, but he wouldn't respond after she sent the letter. But that's what she was telling us. She was like, he was giving me something I didn't ask for. Like he felt like he needed to, maybe that's the game. You know, I say this and I get the girl to do what I want. But she was like, he giving me something I didn't ask for. Like we didn't have to be committed to each other.
Right.
Because it wasn't like he was it wasn't intimate. So it was like, because she was thoughtful about that process. Right. So it was like, he didn't have to go through all of that to try to just kick it with me and move around, because I was in the same headspace. We could just kick it and move around. She was like, so what she didn't appreciate was the lie. Like, it wasn't necessary for him to lie. And that's actually, according to marriage.com, they have an article that they wrote, the 15 reasons why men leave and come back.
Well, I was just looking at that, and I wanted to touch on one of those points where him not being really honest with how he felt, because that's what stood out. It seemed like he wasn't really honest with where he wanted to be. He searched her out, which means that okay, he remembered something. There was something about the relationship that he felt was worth doing all that for. But then what kills me is a man will go out of his way to get something and treat it as a convenience. Not there, it's like they hurry up and get to that point, and then they just want to hit this brick wall and coast. They just want everything to just level out and be okay. No drama, no nothing, no commitment, no verbal anything. And a lot of us women are afraid to push or demand that, and some women will straight up give you an ultimatum and you only been dating for 30 days. So it just kind of makes me wonder the mindset of both parties. It seems like when he sought her out, she was receptive, but from past experience, she was already guarded. Okay, I'm not gonna let, we gonna take it slow. We can just kick it. I'm not going to mentally put myself in this mindset to assume anything. I'm just gonna go off the vibe. And so this was really interesting because he was not really forthcoming with how he felt. So it makes me wonder, in pertaining to that article, does he really know how he feels or what he really wants?
Right.
A lot of men will go and seek something out that is familiar only to comfort them until they figure it out. And a woman could totally, be assuming that as long as they're acting this way, I don't have to put any demands on what I really want because things are okay and I don't want to stir the pot, or I don't want to come out desperate, or I want this to work, or you know what I'm saying? So this is really interesting because to see that the man taking every effort to pursue someone that he know is worth having a relationship with, or at least worth pursuing. But then to hit a brick wall, just to pump the brakes when it comes to that next step with committing. And I wonder if that's like a disease that is pre-programmed or embedded in the male species, where they feel like when it comes to that, you know what I'm saying? They just can't do it, or it triggers some it triggers some
Well,
sort
okay,
of
so number
trauma.
10 on this list, number 10 on this list says, he remembers your history together. Besides just missing you, he may also miss being with you. He likely remembers times that you hung out and had fun and wishes to have times like those again. You could be someone that makes him laugh, and he is unable to find that anywhere else. And so that kind of speaks to it, because that's what she said. She said it was kind of like, she said their relationship was like a roller coaster. And it was kind of like he would come and get rejuvenated, and then he would leave. And she said every time that happened when they were younger, when he would leave, it would take her 2, 3 to 6 months to get back on track for herself.
Oh, energy leech.
Yeah. And then she said, and that's what she said. She was like, that's what she was cautious of. She said, and she said at this time in her life anyway, she just wants to be at peace with everything that she's doing. So she doesn't, and she said she asked him, which number 12, she asked him straight out, and she asked him to be honest. Did he just want to be an intimate hookup? Because that could be discussed.
Right.
That's what she said. She told him. And he was like, no. So she was on a path of being grown up, but he was not on that path.
He ain't graduate high school yet,
He
huh?
ain't graduate high school yet.
He
But
still
see,
left back.
but this what I want to know. What do you think about this?
Mm.
Why do we as women allow that behavior? Like, why do we allow it to come back? Because it speaks to me, it speaks to our own self-worth.
I believe a lot of women hold on to dysfunctional situations for the sake of saving face, to say they got something like superficial. We're family. Or I, as a woman coming up, I didn't get certain type of attention, and even though this is dysfunctional, I do get some attention. I do get a little bit of this, that, and the third. So I think a lot of women put up with that as long as they do, because we're one, waiting for it to work out, thinking we're going to change them. Number two. Number three, we are at a point where I'm too old. I ain't getting any younger. I'm just going to make it work, even though it ain't everything. You know what I'm saying? A lot of people are settling. And I believe that's on both sides of the fence. But we as women, I think we do it a lot more because of a lot of unhealed issues that we have regarding the family unit. So we're quick to want to be the glue that holds something together that's superficial, to say, hey, we got this going on, we are this. But it's not really that. You're really trying to force the pieces of the puzzle together, and they're not really meshing. But because you got something that you could throw together to say, hey, we got this. I think a lot of women are looking at that and overlooking that small, minute detail, having peace, not creating any unnecessary stress or drama by forcing something that just you should probably let go.
Yeah.
But that is interesting though.
So also what she talked about too was, she said over the course of the 40 years, she always felt like, and she said when they were on this trip, and while they were on this trip, and he said what he said to her, she was like, she said it crossed her mind that he enjoys her, and he doesn't want her to be with anybody else. Like, it's okay for him to go do what he want to do, but he wants her to be right there, waiting for him, so to speak, until he gets back.
Wow. That's interesting.
And the gentlemen in this group all agreed that that was the case.
That he just, it sounds like he, for whatever reason, he felt the need to run back to her after all this time and look her back up. That screams insecurity. But then it's so obvious he does not want to move forward. He wants his cake and eat it too. And the men are pretty much saying, hey, it is what it is. That's exactly what's going on. Men will sit up and give us their blueprint. And a lot of times we will not take them for what they're telling us. We want to believe elsewhere, but they're being right upfront and honest in everything they said. They don't want a relationship. They don't want a commitment. They want convenience. They want a situation. They want something comfortable where they can run back to when they feel unsure of themselves, because they know you're going to be there to let them back, to give them whatever they need. and it's siphoning, it's not replenishing you, it's siphoning from you. And I think
Right.
that men are a lot more verbal about, hey, I ain't shit. I don't want to do shit. I don't want to be about shit, but here is my shit. And then a woman will be so engrossed in the fact that they want to throw it their way, they figure, I'll take it. I'll take it because, hey, at the end of the day, we all shitty and we can all make it work. Like, no, no. If he's running out of convenience, then he needs to resolve some of those issues that makes him want convenience over
Right.
commitment. And
Right.
I think she was mature enough to see this coming and then just put it out there. Hey, what do you want? What is it you're really looking for? And he couldn't even answer that. He could, because he didn't even know. But I think in that aspect, more women should be just as committed to themselves as she was. I want peace of mind. So I'm just gonna put it out there and ask you, because we're teetering, we're tottering. Let's be on the same page. And I think a lot of women really want to be on the same page, but maybe not know how because of the influence they got people in this here saying, you need to do this to keep them, you need to do this to attract them, but then you got this on the other hand saying you ain't getting no older, take what you can get, but make sure you let them know this is what you want. They confused.
Right.
They getting all kind of mixed signals.
Okay, so I want y'all to remember to like, subscribe, follow, because we're getting good now. We getting into it. So listen, according to an article online called, was from the onecentworth.com, onecentworth.com. There are 15 common reasons why men say I love you when they don't really mean it. Again, I'm gonna come back with, and I think it's the same answer. Why do we even put up with it? But like, again, and it stems around, number one, wanting to hook up, or just wanted to just get right to the bed. They're using you as a rebound relationship.
True.
Saying I love you so he can buy time until he knows if he really want the relationship. So he just gonna throw it. To me, that's a waste of time. All of it is a waste of time to me.
It's so misleading. Especially like the part where you're saying you love some, just saying something you want, something you think somebody wants to hear,
right,
makes it worse.
Or like you said, he's under pressure. 30 days into the relationship, she's telling him and some type of ultimatum.
Oh yeah, we're bad at that. I hear a lot of that.
Some men just say it because they just think it's the right response.
Yeah, somebody told him, man, that's what you should tell them, because all females want to, very generalized, I'm gonna say this because all women want to hear that. And it kind of makes me start to wonder, I'm every woman, of course, but can you be a little bit more specific with your compliments, please? Because they sound a little bit genuine, general. What applies to me? What is it about me specifically outside of, all women want to hear that. Okay.
So sometimes he says it to just fill the space in the sentence instead of saying or
or actually speaking their mind. Yeah.
Sometimes it is that when he said it, he had those feelings, but then at a later date, he stepped back and evaluated the entire relationship and decided he changed his mind.
Women forget men can change their mind too. We're known for, oh, you know what? I changed my mind. Oh, you know what? I had time to think about that. And we don't really give men credit for being the same way. They might rush in and want to be all in because they figure, oh man, this female giving me these type of vibes, man. I'm really finna do this. And they take that step and then they find out she she talks to Elvis daily, and there's like, whoa, let me pump the brakes and I changed my mind. Yeah, I was feeling you and yeah, things were great, but, and that's always that, but I hate that, but you're a wonderful, great person. You got all these wonderful qualities, but
Well,
for me,
that was number
that's not,
12.
yeah,
That was number 12.
it,
He really meant to say, I'm having fun being with you and I think you're amazing. But it came out as I love you because he was in a moment.
and I hate that. If you don't love, don't use that word. And I think people get mechanical with it. You said, I'm gonna say it. I said it because you said it. What happened to speaking your mind? What happened to saying what you feel? If you don't feel that, don't say that because it's gonna lead to repercussions. So I do feel that we need to be more mindful of what we say. If we're actively listening, we could figure out, okay, maybe that's not a smart thing to say right now. Even if you are in the moment, it's got to be something on your shoulder like, hey, don't say that. No, if you say that, she really gonna go crazy. Now, you know what I'm saying? I mean, they know sexually what to do to keep us going crazy, right? So they know, man, if I do this, she gonna go crazy. Well, conversation has the same effect. Don't engage and imply certain things that aren't true because you're gonna get the little people in the mind and they get talking and they're gonna start assuming things because you're leading the conversation in that direction. So being totally honest with yourself as well as in the moment being honest about how you feel in that moment. If they say I love you, you don't have to respond. You don't have to respond. And if they push why you ain't say it, you know what? I love what you do. I love this about you. Let's break it down. Don't just come back and be mechanical because I just said that because you said it. That now we getting into, mental retardation. Like,
so
really?
Essence Magazine weighed in on phrases men say and then what they actually mean when they said that.
Oh, this is good.
So I'm good actually means I'm good. It means we good, everything good, leave me alone, we good, no need to mess anything up. It really means he's good in whatever is happening.
Okay.
He's comfortable.
Okay.
All right. I promise that's the one you got to watch out for. Okay. Because the promise might never come to fruition. Right? You may not ever keep the appointments that you all made. And that's how you know if you're a priority.
Wow.
I have friends.
Oh, my Lance.
Women friends.
Be careful about that one. Because I might be one of them friends. Yeah.
So some of them are oftentimes romantic, but not always. So if he's saying she's just a friend, that's really it. That it really is what she is to him.
Right. And a lot of women get intimidated by the fact of, okay, this is a man and I'm attracted to his masculinity, but then you turned off by the fact that other females like that about him too. Like, come on. You like this man because there's something masculine, manly about him. And so to see him interact with other females and assume that you are supposed to be the only influence, target, or whatever is ridiculous.
Right. Because to him, it means he has options.
Exactly. Or it can, and when you move into that realm where you
Or that he
have
just loves his
friends
single
that
life.
are intimate. When you have friends that are intimate and they just friends, again, when they say, hey, I just got a lot of friends, women don't assume he's sleeping with all of them, but just be prepared to understand that he could be sleeping with them. You know what I'm saying? There's a possibility because he's telling you these are friends. That's it. And if you are trying to be more than a friend, then you might have to understand, you might have to work your way up, because it's the type of dude that, he has sex with his friends. And there are people that are out there that have those relationships. So be prepared, the red light going, oh, I got friends. Don't be quick to assume he hoeing around, but don't be quick to assume that means he's platonic either. You know what I'm saying?
Well, there's another saying too. We are just having a good time.
Oh, we booty buddies.
So that means it doesn't necessarily mean being intimate, but it does mean that he's not ready to make you his boo.
No, not if he having a good time with other people. No, unless you and the boo like to get down with
right.
2 or 3. Unless y'all like that. I mean, and then
I'm
that's
busy.
Another thing. A lot of people are into that, having a polygamous relationship.
I'm busy. It means I'm too busy for you.
Yeah.
So that's what my friend, back to her, that's what she said. She said at some point she figured out that too busy, even though he did have this type of job, she said that she felt like if he wanted to make time for her, then he would.
Yeah.
And so she felt like he was saying he's too busy for her. And for her, that was okay, because she wasn't
that emotionally invested.
Yeah, she wasn't invested in all of that. But for her, it was about having the communication, about talking about whatever was going on with the two of them. She wanted what she called an adult relationship.
I think that is adult. Communication is becoming, it should be everybody's top priority. But I'm noticing that a lot of people, it's spanning different age ranges. Communication is slowly moving to the top of the priority list because you want to be on the same page, and nobody wants to guess, nobody wants to assume, and nobody wants to, put you in a situation that's going to create a bunch of drama. So if you're on the same page, then at least you have an understanding with that person. These are my boundaries. These are my limits. This is what it is. This is what it ain't. This is what we cool with. This is what we not cool with. Communication, you need to have that, because to be honest, just assuming and then running around playing games, y'all need to be back in high school doing it. But I think it is more of an adult relationship to have communication as a top priority. I mean,
well, I think
all the other
I
stuff
see it as a
kind
part
of
of
falls into place.
I see it as disrespect, because you want to waste somebody's time when you really don't want your time wasted. And I know that women can be the aggressor. Like men, if men are watching, I don't want you to feel like this is Dump on Men's Day.
No, that's another episode.
Yeah, we did. Right. Women can be the aggressive. Okay. We just focusing on we working on it this month. That comes from a man's perspective.
Yeah.
Because when I heard the story, I was like, okay, that fits Lauryn Hill's X Factor. Which is why that's on y'all go listen to Faye-Faye's playlist, because it's on Faye-Faye's playlist. But when I heard the story, that's why I was like, okay, that sounds like Lauryn Hill's X Factor, because the song talks about the constant dysfunction that goes on between the two of them. And at some point she's like, okay, bye. Listen, we gotta stop.
Yeah, the toxicity is too much.
Right. And so I don't know. I just think that grown-up decisions can become clouded when you have all that toxicity.
Oh yeah.
When you have all that toxicity, and someone has to make the good choices, the grown-up
Mm-hmm.
choices.
Mm-hmm.
And and he was not in harmony with himself.
True,
So
very obvious.
so how he gonna be in harmony with anybody else?
That's something that we don't give men enough credit for. Uh we are always highlighting women being at a point where they're trying to elevate. But let's flip it for a second. And when a man realizes or comes to the point where he consciously wants to elevate his behavior, the way he interacts with the opposite sex, when he reaches that point where, okay, it's not, I asked a man, um, early 30s, what is it about a woman that would make him want to be in a relationship? Is there levels? Do you jump right on into it? Like, how does it work for you? And what I was surprised to find was men have their levels as well, where they can look at every woman and say, okay, yeah, they all got this, they all got that, but the way she does this is different than what she may do. And that's
Mm-hmm.
something that makes me look at that or makes them stand out more. I didn't want to go in too much into detail about the conversation, but it was really looking at those small attributes, those small things that differentiate us from other people that a lot of men may hone in on. And that's why you'll never understand, well, what can he see in her? And here I got all this going on. Well, everybody's got that, but
Yeah.
you might use it differently than this person does, or you might have a whole different mindset about how you're going to use this. And that appeals to me more. So we're not giving men credit at the fact that they're watching us as much as we're watching them. And
Right.
they do have standards just like we do. So when they reach a point and say, well, I think I want to take a mature route, or this is what I'm looking for, or this is a certain amount of maturity that I want, or that I'm looking for as far as relationship maturity, or as far as just interacting with that person past being casual. This is what I'm looking for. And they won't say anything. They won't tell us nothing. So we'll go and we're trying to figure out, okay, how should I act? Because I want to be what you want. Well, no, some of them won't say anything. They'll just let you make a total ass of yourself. And some of them will give you hints along the way. You know what? That's really not what I'm into. But to each his own. It's all in how you communicate and what you want. And if you are a man looking for a mature woman, you have to look at yourself the same way a woman has to look at herself. Am I attracting what I want? Am I what I want? You know what I'm saying? So I
Right.
think that's on both ends. We both got to do some inner searching and figure out, what do I want? What is really important to me? And if I'm moving forward, should I tell this person right off the bat if I am or am not this serious, wanting to go to this whatever with them? Hey, I just want to be casual. Hey, I'm not really expecting much, but this, or hey, I'm just looking for a good time and we'll see where it goes. Uh, can you be honest with yourself as a man and say that's what you want? Women, we always looking for, something to enhance or improve us,
But I don't think
or
we're always honest with ourselves though, as women. I don't think we are. Um, because then we wouldn't allow some of this type of behavior to go on with us. And
Can't
that's
believe I
why I
missed
say
that
that.
point. Yeah. Mhm.
That's why I say that. But listen, we've been talking for a long time, girl.
Oh, this was a really good topic.
We might have to come back on it. We might
have to get some more perspectives. Yeah.
Yeah, maybe we can have some guests, some men as guests on and talk about it.
That would be really interesting to get a male perspective and why they do what they do. I always say they should be studied. They are a species that needs to be studied very
exactly. So, okay, Red Dragon the Poet, tell us, remind us where we can connect with you.
Well, you all can catch me on Instagram under Red Dragon the Poet. You can catch me on Facebook and one of two different personalities as Trap Street.
Did she just say she got split personality?
Black Butterfly. Yes, ma'am. And you can catch me as Red Dragon the Poet on Facebook. I like to have pages under different personalities, as I like to call it. So many people living in my head. But yes,
oh my goodness. We're gonna have a topic on that.
Okay. Me and all my friends. But yes, you can catch me on IG, you can catch me on Facebook, and you can catch me here on the Phaedra World Tour periodically.
All right. And we want to thank you for listening to An Angry Black Woman podcast. Got a good topic already. We're gonna be talking about adoption next month, y'all. So tune in. We're gonna be talking about adoption. We're looking forward to our next episode. Like, subscribe, follow. Visit webpage thephaedra.com. And you can find us on all major platforms, including social media platforms. So hashtag the Phaedra World Tour. Until next time, remember, hashtag masterpiece, not angry. And we love y'all. I'm gonna tell y'all I love y'all.
We love you.
We love you. Oh.
We're not angry. We're really not angry. We're awesome.